A recent leaked warning by a US Air Force commander revealed that a military conflict with China could occur as soon as 2025. The American military is preparing for combat readiness over Taiwan, and this has sent ripples throughout China. But what is the truth? Is the US really preparing for war in Taiwan? In this video, we will explore the latest developments in the Taiwan-China-US relationship, from Nancy Pelosi's controversial visit to Taiwan to the leaked memo from a US four-star general warning of a potential conflict as early as 2025. Let's jump right into it. How Taiwan defined the Sino-American relations. In 1950, President Harry Truman declared that the US would not militarily intervene to assist the nationalists who had fled to Taiwan after the communist victory in China's Civil War. However, Truman changed his stance when the Korean War erupted and backed South Korea, while also ordering the 7th Fleet to defend Taiwan to prevent the spread of communism in Asia. When Chinese forces attacked Taiwan's outlying islands 4 years later, US officials threatened nuclear strikes, which forced Mao to back down. Looking back, this was the first of a series of military confrontations over Taiwan that have defined Sino-American relations and had global consequences. Now, 7 decades later, the fourth crisis in Taiwan is currently unfolding: the China-Taiwan conflict. The conflict over Taiwan has persisted since the conclusion of the Chinese Civil War in 1949, when the defeated nationalist forces fled to the island. Since then, the victorious communists have made it their goal to reclaim Taiwan. Currently, the possibility of war appears to be more imminent than it has been in many years. In August of 2022, China conducted its most significant military exercises in decades, which were perceived by many as a practice run for a blockade or even an invasion. Taiwan's Foreign Minister Joseph Wu reported that China fired missiles near Taiwan's waters, carried out large-scale air and sea exercises, and launched cyber attacks. When these actions are taken together, Wu believes that China's intention is to invade Taiwan. Wu provided these insights in a recent documentary that investigates the reasons why the Taiwan conflict has been so challenging to resolve and contemplates whether a devastating war can be averted. China has become increasingly vocal about its goal of reunifying with Taiwan. Zhao Bo, a former senior colonel in China's military who now teaches at Tsinghua University, stated that mainland China considers Taiwan to be part of China and that reunification is necessary. However, the means by which this will be achieved, whether peacefully or through force, remains uncertain. At the Communist Party Congress in October, Chinese President Xi Jinping stated that he would work towards a peaceful reunification with Taiwan. However, only a small percentage of Taiwanese people seek peaceful reunification, according to a recent survey from Taiwan's National Chengchi University. Given this reality, force appears to be the only option if China is truly determined to obtain Taiwan. The recent Russian invasion of Ukraine serves as a chilling reminder that threats can turn into reality, with a great power invading a vulnerable neighbor that it claims has no right to exist as an autonomous entity. The role of the US. So the question arises, how has the relationship between the US and China been affected by the Taiwan issue over the past few decades? Taiwan's Foreign Minister Joseph Wu has stated that Ukraine's fight against Russian aggression is inspirational to the Taiwanese people and demonstrates that Taiwan requires the support of the international community to defend itself against a potential invasion. Above all, support from the United States would be crucial for Taiwan's survival, as it would be unlikely to withstand an invasion without external assistance. But this support could further aggravate the already deteriorating relations of the US with China. At the end of 2022, US President Joe Biden signed a defense spending bill allocating up to $10 billion in assistance for Taiwan, and he has made clear that the US would intervene if China initiated an unprovoked attack. This reflects a rare instance of consensus in US politics, with both parties recognizing China as a threat in various areas. As a result, the Biden administration and Congress have implemented measures to support Taiwan and counter China, such as Speaker Pelosi's visit to Taipei. Nancy Pelosi, a US politician and former Speaker of the House, traveled to Taiwan in August 2022 as part of a larger tour of Asia. She was accompanied by a delegation of 5 Democratic Party members of the House. President Joe Biden did not prevent the visit despite discouragement from him. However, the People's Republic of China condemned the visit and warned the US government to beware of meddling. Following Pelosi's departure, the PRC began military exercises surrounding Taiwan from August 4th to 7th, 2022. The PRC also announced regular exercises in the Yellow and Bohai Seas until August 15th and September 8th, respectively, but ended them early on August 10th. The response from Beijing regarding Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan has highlighted the seriousness of the issue. The possibility of a war with China over Taiwan, which was once considered unlikely by many, is now seen as a real and concerning possibility. Is there going to be a war? According to analysts, a recent warning by a US Air Force commander that a military conflict with mainland China could occur as soon as 2025 suggests that the American military is preparing for combat readiness over Taiwan. The People's Liberation Army is also expected to increase its deterrence capabilities in response. The warning came from Mike Minahan, the head of Air Mobility Command, who stated that a war over Taiwan could happen as soon as 2025. In a leaked internal memorandum that recently surfaced on social media, Minahan, a US 4-star general, urged his commanders to strive for maximum operational battle readiness this year. Upon catching wind of this development, Chinese officials have cautioned the US against escalating tensions in response to Minahan's memo. The Chinese military sent over 60 warplanes and ships into Taiwan's air defense identification zone at the start of February 2023, but it's uncertain if this action was a response to Minahan's memo or another perceived provocation. The future of Taiwan remains uncertain. So, is Taiwan going to get caught in the whirlwind of war? Experts warn of the potential dangers and escalation of the situation for Taiwan if the US were to get involved without providing any tangible benefits. The situation for Taiwan is precarious, as it is caught in the middle of escalating tensions between the US and China. While US support is crucial to Taiwan's survival, it also risks dragging Taiwan into a much larger conflict. The recent talks between Biden and Xi at the G20 summit in Bali were aimed at restoring some stability to the US-China relationship. "I'm not looking for conflict, I'm looking to manage this competition responsibly," Biden told the press, but the Taiwan issue presents a much deeper challenge. The short-term goal is to reduce the risk of accidental crisis, conflict, and war, but the long-term question is China's preparations for the 2030s, including sufficient military, economic, and technological power to wage war to secure Taiwan by design. Joseph Wu stated that the government's policy is to preserve the status quo, which means that Taiwan, being a democracy, must be allowed to determine its own future. However, Xiaobo rejected this stance, suggesting that separation would persist indefinitely. Michelle Flournoy, chair of the influential CNAS think tank, argued that military action would happen sooner than previously anticipated, and that the US must be prepared to deter China in the short term. Flournoy emphasized that the main priority for US policy is deterrence, and for Beijing to acknowledge that seizing Taiwan by force would result in defeat. China expert and former Australian Prime Minister Kevin Rudd warned that a conflict over Taiwan could be even more catastrophic than Russia's war on Ukraine, leading to a large-scale war involving major world economies, tens of thousands of Taiwanese civilian deaths, and a global economic crisis. With China currently facing the collapse of its zero-COVID regime, the outlook for 2023 is highly uncertain, and the world could be facing further turmoil. The situation in Taiwan is constantly evolving, and the stakes are incredibly high. As tensions continue to rise, it's crucial for all parties involved to engage in open and honest dialogue and to seek peaceful solutions to this potentially catastrophic situation. The world will be watching closely as events unfold in the coming months and years, and the decisions made by leaders on all sides will have far-reaching consequences for the future of the region and beyond. Do you think we're about to see another conflict unfurl like the Russia-Ukraine war? Comment down below and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Make sure to watch the next video.